Hey everybody, welcome back to Here Pal Here. My name is Pal. Today I'm going to be doing a video for you guys talking a little bit about how I kind of almost instantaneously or magically sort of improved my picking ability. And it was actually by changing the pick I use, not through any kind of technique, which is usually kind of the last thing that I would expect, because I'm a big believer in that your abilities come, largely from your hands and your feeling and yeah, I guess your internal kind of like rhythm and timing and feel and things like that. But I actually kind of through a happy coincidence discovered some heavier picks that I haven't taken out in a long, long time. I have two kids, and they love rummaging through my stuff, and so they found my old box of picks, and usually I have them in this nice little tin. And basically for many years now, I think I'd say probably the past 20 years, I have been using a specific pick, always the same thing. It was this one actually, the Clayton USA pick. And this is a 0.80 millimeter thickness. So it's relatively what I thought was a thick pick compared to a lot of the previous picks that I had been using in the past. And I had used this thing for like 20 years and I thought I was happy with it. And just like I say, by random chance, my kids found my old box of a bunch of different kinds of picks. And I'll show you guys a little, inset video here so you guys can see all the different ones I had. I had old school Fender, medium. That's kind of the classic pick. I think that was probably like the first pick I ever got was the Fender medium, tortoise or whatever it is called, that tortoise shell, finish. And I think I went through a few of those back in the day when I first started playing guitar, like 20 whatever years ago. And then, for a long time I was pretty poor, so I didn't have money to spend on picks, and I just figured like, oh, I'll just chop up old, bank cards and credit cards and stuff when they were expired, and I used those as picks for a long time. I would just kind of shave them into the rough shape with a knife and stuff, and I would use that for a long time. And then I had a friend in college who was pretty gracious, and he would go through picks really fast, and he got me hooked on these Claytons. And if I remember right, he was using this size, the 0.63 millimeters. So like when they would get even a little bit rounded at the end and they weren't as pointy as he liked, he would just basically throw them away and get a new one. And me being a poor college student, I was like, man, I'll be glad to take all the ones you got. So he gave me like a whole bag of them. And for a long time, I would say probably like a couple of years, I just used those. And when they got to be like too rounded for me, I would just, again, shave them down with a knife until they started to get kind of too short this way and I couldn't like hold it comfortably anymore. Then I would get rid of it. And then, for the longest time, I just used these. And then when I pretty much ran out of those picks, I already had money by then. I was working. And I said, okay, I'll go out and see what else is out there because I like this pick, but maybe there's something better. So I got, a bunch of other kind of thicknesses and different types. I had a few friends that were really big into the Tortex Dunlop type picks. So I got a variety of the different sizes and I tried them all. I even tried the different shape, which is the little kind of like teardrop shape or whatever this is called. It's like a little jazz pick or something. And, people swear by this. I actually kind of like this and I kind of don't. The reason being is that I do like that it's easy to choke up on the pick. And what I mean by that is to get it where it's barely passing, kind of where your finger end is. And it's kind of cool for like doing like artificial harmonics, pinch harmonics. But then it's like, kind of awkward sometimes for strumming and just for like kind of like chordy kind of stuff. I just think it's not quite as nice. So I never really took to this, but I know a lot of people like that kind of shape. And what I do like about this now, playing it many years later, is that it is very thick. This is a 0.88 again. So this was, a little bit heavier. But the whole point of this video is that I found this one and I was like, oh, what is that one? I don't even know what it is. The label's just kind of scratched off or whatever. And you can just barely see a D'Addario logo on there. I don't know if it'll, translate on the video here, but I'll do a close up if it doesn't go there. But so I don't even know what size this is. It is pretty thick. I would say it's probably close to like a millimeter. I'm not sure. So it's probably, around that or maybe a little lower, but it's definitely heavier significantly than the 0.8 pick that I had been using for, like I say, 20 years now. I've been using those 0.8 millimeter ones, and I just started playing with this, and I just immediately felt more control, and just that I was playing a lot better. I could more accurately kind of do stuff. The little intro piece that I was doing there for you guys, it's pretty fast picking and pretty intricate. I try to just do the natural harmonics there on a couple of the strings, and it's really kind of tricky to get that, especially with a pick that's very thin, like the 0.63 that I started with, or I think I even have a 0.6 over here. I think this one was a 0.6, little Tortex. I mean, this thing is floppy as hell. So when you're going in for like fast kind of picking, these things just kind of go all over the place. And the 0.63 that I was using for a long time, that was also kind of one of the things that I didn't like about that pick, is that when I would kind of really dig into stuff, either like palm muted things or like going in for like, like a pinch harmonic kind of thing, you could actually feel the pick bending. So that's why I went to the 0.8 originally. And now by going to something much heavier, I actually realized that I like that even more. And especially on the electric, I really feel like it's really good. And I think I don't know how I missed this pick. I mean, I probably used it for a while because I wore the the Dario name off of it, but I don't know, never really stuck with it. I guess I just kind of went back to the Clayton, and I then at some point got this metal pick too, because you hear all these stories about like Billy Gibbons and Brian May and a few other people playing with like coins and old money and all this kind of stuff. And they would say like how, they loved playing with these old coins and stuff. And I thought, okay, cool, metal pick. But I'm not even joking. Like, it sounds terrible on the acoustic. It's like, it's murder. Like, you can just hear it rasping. I hate this sound. It's just... sounds terrible to my ears. I really could not even play this at all. On the electric, it's a little bit better because that raspy sound doesn't translate to the amp usually. But I mean, here, man, to my ears, just I'd use this thing for like 2 minutes, and then I was like, nope, ain't gonna go with that. So lately, like I say, I've loved this purple, heavy pick. I think it sounds nice for strumming. I think it sounds nice for, picked parts. So, yeah, I mean, lately I've just been using this thing, and, I was actually kind of thinking like, man, I'm going to have to figure out some other kind of pick to start using at some point, because I am starting to wear it down. Although it does wear a lot less than the thinner picks, obviously, because there's more material there. I'm going to probably do a separate video about what I'm using now, because I'm pretty excited about that. I do want to say a real quick word, though, that this video is not about buy this type of pick or buy that type of pick. I simply wanted to do this video to encourage people to go out and try a bunch of different picks, especially if you've been using the same pick for a long time. I think there's a really good chance that maybe you might find something that you like better, especially if you're willing to try a couple of different types, different shapes, maybe, but definitely different thicknesses. I think it really makes a huge difference, especially depending on what you're trying to play. Now, will I say that I won't use any other picks now that I kind of find that the heavier picks are more to my liking? I'm not saying that. It might still work out for certain things, for certain feelings, for certain types of sounds. This is like that really light pick that I was telling you guys about. Like this does sound really nice for certain things. I'll play that with the heavier pick. I think that sounds really great too, but it feels different. Not sure how much, the audio is going to come across just from the camera mic, but it does feel different playing it for sure. And I think it sounds different too. I've noticed even on the electric, it does, sound different a little bit. But for me, it's not really just about the sound. It's more just about the feel. It feels way more secure playing with the heavier pick. I can, really choke up on it if I want to. I can use it, kind of backed off for strumming if I want to. It just feels more solid. I'm more connected to the string, and it does kind of what I want instead of flopping around on the string. And what I've done is, like I say, I've actually gone to an even heavier pick. I'll talk about that at some other point. But like I say, the video is not sponsored by any of these companies. I'm not suggesting to go out and buy any of these picks. Just wanted to share this idea with you that it's really helpful to kind of poke around and try some different picks if you haven't done that recently, because I was actually just quite surprised at how much more control I had over the picking with the heavier pick. And I was just not expecting that, because like I said, I've been using that same pick for 20 years now or something like that. So hopefully this was helpful to you. Let me know, what you guys think about about heavy versus light picks. Do you use picks? Do you just do fingerstyle stuff? Same thing can be said for fingerstyle. Obviously, you can get a lot of different tones using your nails. Don't use your nails. Use the fingertip. Use the thumb. There's so many different kinds of things you can do. And it's just one of those things that you can continue on your quest for tone and finding the sound in your head that you want to translate. And I just think it's all part of the fun of playing guitar and doing all this wonderful, stuff related to music. So hopefully you guys liked it. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and see you guys in another video soon. And make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're not signed up yet. Thanks. Appreciate it. Bye.